Today, we have a facility that made a crucial ingredient for nuclear weapons.
Ooh.
And if it wasn't for a heroically brave sabotage mission, it might have led to Hitler winning the nuclear arms race and unleashing an unthinkable amount of destruction on the world.
Oof, my interest is piqued.
Yes. This is Where'd Everyone Go? With me, Sasha Auerbach.
And me, Tom Ward. A journey into the weird history of abandoned places.
This is easily one of the most incredible stories from the Second World War, and one of the most unbelievable operations from any war, of any era. It's no surprise the story was made into a major Hollywood blockbuster starring Kirk Douglas.
Okay, Michael's dad. Okay, so where in the world are we, Sash?
We're in Norway, 100 miles from the capital of Oslo.
Okay, so we've got some footage here. I've never been, but it looks kind of what I would imagine. Steep mountains covered in thick blankets of alpine trees, waterfalls.
Long tube-like structures extending up the side of one of the mountains.
Yeah, and then there's this imposing, huge building at the bottom. And inside, it looks industrial, maybe a factory.
You've also got barbed wire fences,
suggesting the need for security.
Mm-hmm.
And in front of the building, you have some rubble.
And somewhere underground, there's a tangled mass of steel.
Okay then, Sasha, where did everyone go?
What we're looking at is a hydroelectric power plant.
Okay.
And when it was finished in 1911, it was the biggest power plant in the whole world. Now, why were the Norwegians in need of so much power, you might ask?
I might ask.
Yes, why did they need so much power?
Why did they?
Why did they?
I want to ask it.
I'm asking it.
You said I would ask it.
Yeah, because I thought you would ask it and then answer it.
Well, I want to ask it, but I don't know the answer. That's how questions work.
Okay. That's how questions work.
Why did they need so much power?
Well, the answer was shit. Well, not shit exactly, but fertilizer, which normally would be shit.
Okay.
But in this case, isn't.
Right.
Before you groan with boredom...
It's too late.
Now that you've groaned of boredom, the invention and refinement of fertilizer had a huge impact on human civilization. Without good fertilizers, it wouldn't have been possible to feed the world's rapidly expanding population in the 20th century. In fact, analysts have said the world was really on the brink of potential starvation because food production was not keeping up with population. It's been estimated that almost half the people on Earth are currently fed today due to the use of synthetic fertilizer.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
If I invented that, I would constantly be bringing it up. I'd be in bars every night.
You know why you're eating?
Hey, did you eat today? You're welcome.
You're welcome. It's quite possibly one of the greatest inventions of the 20th century in terms of keeping the most number of people alive, up there with, some of the vaccines and that type of stuff. And we have to thank for it two German chemists, Fritz Haber and Karl Bosch, who devised a way to transform nitrogen in the air into fertilizer.
So they weren't called fertilizer. I thought it was like a German surname.
Oh, fertilizer? Hans Fertilizer?
Jens Lothar Fertilizer. I invented fertilizer.
You intend to fertilize her.
I fertilized my wife, and now we have two children. We have Lothar and Adolf Fertilizer.
Oh, it's a bad use of fertilizer. So the process that they developed became known as the Haber-Bosch process. Plants they generally take nitrogen from the soil, but if you don't have enough nitrogen in the soil, you can't grow the plants, hence the need for artificial nitrogen fertilizer. So the chemical process to extract nitrogen requires an enormous amount of energy, hence this colossal hydroelectric power plant. Mm-hmm. And buried beneath the power plant was a facility where the extraction of nitrogen actually took place.
Okay.
This is the destroyed part of the site that we saw in the footage.
So the plot thickens.
Mm-hmm.
So why would anyone attack just a simple power plant? What's the issue?
Maybe they hate plants.
Maybe they do. Or power.
Or humans.
Or hydrogen.
Or nitrogen. I hate nitrogen. I've always disliked argon. I couldn't tell you why.
We all have our
Our
preferences.
chemical preferences.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite chemical?
I would have the pH table. No, what's it called?
Yeah. Well, the table of base and acidity.
All the all the chemicals.
The periodic table.
Thanks, Lewis.
You hate the whole periodic table.
I'd have it on the wall and I'd throw darts.
You throw darts
at the ones I didn't like boron
boron, yeah.
and
I like
bromide.
Einsteinium. It's a very rare one. I'm a big fan of Einsteinium.
What's it in?
It's in nothing. It's like a really, really high atomic weight thing yeah. Anyway,
Hey, they all.
I could
they
go
all
on for
count.
days about Einsteinium, but I don't think our listeners want any more about the periodic table. No, it turns out that this process of extracting nitrogen for harmless fertilizer created a byproduct that was a vital ingredient in the creation of nuclear weapons.
Wow, this stuff is very versatile.
It
Feeds with one hand, destroys civilization.
Well, it's a
with the other.
byproduct. It's a byproduct.
Oh, okay.
Though actually, that the same process, if I remember correctly, also the same lab ends up producing Zyklon B, which is the poisonous gas that was used in the Holocaust. So there's a lot of dodgy byproducts coming out of this lab and its activities. But it's ironic because the main point was to create this incredibly life-saving process. So the stuff that is created as a byproduct is heavy water.
Okay, I think we have that in London, like heavy water.
You have hard water.
Oh,
it's
right.
different.
Okay.
You don't know. It's not coming out of the taps, man. Like, this is dangerous.
Oh, so heavy water doesn't cause limescale.
Not to my knowledge. You wouldn't want to put it in your kettle. I'll tell you that much.
Right. Okay. Would the kettle be gone?
The kettle would be pretty toxic, I think, by the time you're done with it.
Right.
So, like ordinary water, heavy water contains 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 oxygen atom, H2O. But the hydrogen contains an extra neutron that increases its weight by 10%, hence the term heavy water. This type of hydrogen is known as deuterium, which on its own poses no danger, but when it's added to lithium, which you get in batteries, for example, in your laptop battery is going to be a lithium-ion battery. When you add lithium to deuterium, you get lithium deuteride, and it becomes the primary fuel in thermonuclear weapons.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is, I'm guessing in the wrong hands.
Very dangerous. Now, heavy water is a very complex thing. It's very difficult, very expensive to produce. So, when Hitler led the world into war in 1939, it was no surprise he was desperate to get his hands on this Norwegian facility that could produce this rare and incredibly destructive, in the right circumstances or wrong circumstances, element.
Yeah, he wanted it.
He wanted it.
He wanted everything, though, didn't he, Hitler?
Yes. No, he just wanted a piece.
He was like the
He
original.
wanted a piece of Poland, a piece of Russia, a piece of France.
No, he wanted all of it. He was like Veruca Salt, the original.
The original Veruca Salt.
world.
I like that you take us from the fascist to Willy Wonka. That was a nice little move. So, in 1940, German troops capture the plant, and within months, the production of heavy water increases 50-fold.
And I'm going to assume that workers' rights went down by about the same amount?
Yes. I mean, the Nazis were famous for their use of slave labor. I don't know if they used it in this plant. This is probably too sensitive stuff to put, anything but actual proper workers on and scientists.
Yeah, I doubt there was a trade union springing up during
No. And they're not going to do what they did, what some companies like Bayer, for example, did. They're not going. This is not attached to a concentration camp. They're not getting the labor from there.
Right, okay. Well, that's something.
Well, that's something. At least they didn't use slave labor.
Small victories.
The Allies were understandably getting very, very nervous. If Hitler won this race to produce the first nuclear bomb, or atomic bomb, as it was generally referred to at the time, then, victory might be in his hands, might be in his grasp. And there's actually a lot of debate about how far advanced the German atomic bomb project ever actually got.
Oh, yeah, because they would like to kind of exacerbate their progress in order to kind of
Well,
put the fear up
part
people.
part of the impetus for the project that did successfully produce the Manhattan Project was they were constantly telling the scientists the Germans are close, the Germans are close.
Okay.
How close they actually were, again, it's something that historians debate, really. Anyway, so a plan was hatched. Why take the risk, right? So a plan was hatched to destroy the heavy water production facility and thus wipe out any chance that Hitler would be able to create a working atomic weapon.
Okay, setting up now.
Yeah. But because it was buried in the basement, just bombing the facility isn't going to work. They're going to have to infiltrate it and destroy the vital equipment from the inside.
Okay, that's proper espionage.
Well, I mean, you're talking about one of the most heavily guarded military scientific facilities in the entire world at the time. I mean, this is not going to be easy.
Yeah, this is a job for James Bond.
This is a job for James Bond.
Was he free?
Well, he's not real.
Had he been written yet?
Ian Fleming's books, I think, are the 1950s. Yeah.
A little too late.
Too late, unfortunately. So, yeah, no Bond. Now, there was one problem. Well, there's obviously many problems, but here's the key one. Vemork, which was the name of the facility, again, in the mountains, isolated, incredibly difficult access. Just to get there is hard. And then, of course, once you get there, you're facing guards and barbed wire and so on.
Unforgiving terrain.
Unforgiving terrain. The first combat operation was a complete failure. You had a 4-man Norwegian reconnaissance team parachuted in, followed by 2 gliders filled with British troops. One glider crashes into the mountains, and the other is found by the Germans, and the soldiers are shot.
Wow. And so that's probably a disaster, not just for the men, but also because it means that they're going to be extra on the lookout for future invasions.
Exactly. I mean, now they know that the Allies are plotting to disrupt this thing, so I'm sure they double their security, and they're going to be ready next time someone tries it.
Yeah, and they know that they've got something that other people want to destroy, essentially.
Yeah, but, the Allies have got to try again. This stuff is just too dangerous. They got to take it out. So
they try again?
They try again. Second time, a team of 6 parachute in, but they land a lot further away from the facility, so they can begin their approach on the ground. Much harder to detect, right? There are Norwegian commandos, but they're dressed in British uniforms, so that if they're captured, the Germans won't take revenge on the local Norwegian population.
Wouldn't their accents give it away?
That is a good question. Presumably, they'd die rather than be captured.
Right. So the Germans didn't punish Norwegians; they just bombed Hull extra hard.
Exactly. But this was a common German practice at the time, was retaliation against for partisan activity. If there was partisan activity, there were attacks on German troops, the Germans would retaliate against the local population.
Right. Okay. Retaliation is often quite a sort of ugly. Involves a lot of innocent victims.
Yeah, absolutely. But
it's an
attempt to discourage this type of partisan activity, which was a problem all across occupied Europe, especially in both France and the Netherlands.
Right.
So the original 4-man Norwegian team from the failed first attempt, they're still hiding in the mountains.
What now?
No, not now. It'd be like 120.
Okay.
No, I mean when the second now.
Like the Japanese guy after the war.
Oh yeah, that is a weird story, but that's for another one. No, this is from the first attempt. They're still hiding up in the mountains. They're behind enemy lines, and they've been there for months, surviving on moss, lichen, and the occasional reindeer.
On birthdays and Christmases.
On birthdays, yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah, we got you some reindeer.
I got you a turtle.
Yeah, no Christmas this year. Sorry, Santa. We ate your vehicles.
Yeah. So the two teams do end up finding each other, and they embark on the task of infiltrating the site to plant explosives. It was known as Operation Gunnerside, no relation to Arsenal, for those of you listening in Britain, and it will go down in history as one of the greatest military secret operations ever. The Nazis, as we were talking about, or the Germans rather, have increased security after they thwarted the first attack. The main access to this plant is along a narrow suspension bridge, and it's heavily guarded. There's only 2 other options for entry. You can approach through a heavily fortified mountain pass, which is littered with landmines, or you can scale a 500-foot deep, steep-sided ravine. Do you want to guess which option they choose? So you got the bridge, you got the pass, you got the ravine.
Oh, well, I would imagine the ravine, probably because the bridge, you'd be worried as you cross it that they're going to snip the ropes, like in Indiana Jones or Romancing the Stone. I don't know which one it was.
Yeah. I mean, at
Probably
least the ravine is such a natural obstacle, they'd be less likely to think someone would attack from that side. But think about it. I mean, even with modern equipment today, going up a 500-foot ravine is an incredibly exhausting, difficult task. And now you're in these wintry conditions. Mm-hmm. The Germans must have thought it would be madness to even try.
Right. So you have to go for that. Better the ravine, as they say.
Yeah.
And landmines are horrible. It's a horrible way to die.
It is
because it's a horrible walk. Like it's as scary as going up a ravine, I would imagine. Walking across terrain where there could be landmine. Any step could be your last.
Me personally, I mean, wouldn't want to do either. I'm sure I'd make a terrible commando. I mean, I like my creature comforts. I'd be like, my socks aren't warm enough. They'd be like, the Germans are coming. I'm like, yeah, but my toes are cold.
But I'd be a terrible quadriplegic. I'd just be so ungrateful. I'd have to live with my mom. That would be a nightmare.
I like how we're going like super dark on this, but it's kind of a dark story, I suppose. So part of the reason they choose the ravine is that after they got up the other side, there was a railway, and on the railway line, for obvious reasons, you can't have any mines.
Okay.
So they successfully cross the ravine. They sneak along the railway to get right beside the facility. And because the site used to be owned by the Norwegians, who were on the Allied side, the commandos had inside information on how to enter the building.
Okay.
So they climb through a cable tunnel, and they only encounter one person who was luckily a Norwegian caretaker who was very willing to cooperate with them.
Why did they keep on the caretaker?
Why did they what?
Why did they keep him on?
What do you mean keep him on?
As in he was still working at the plant.
Well,
why didn't you want to get rid of?
Because it was his cat that was keeping the mouse population down.
Okay.
Because everybody loved Knut. I mean, Knut had been there forever. You can't get rid of Knut.
The lovable caretaker.
Yeah, I mean, he knew where all the nooks and crannies were.
Right, nice. Okay, fine.
He even had his own moop.
Right, yeah, okay. I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah, I bet you are. I'm a font of useful information. So the team placed their explosives on the electrolysis chambers that produce the heavy water. But just before they were about to set the fuses, the caretaker apparently had a panic because he couldn't find his spectacles. Eyeglasses were very hard to purchase during the war. So the team had to stop what they're doing and start frantically searching for them. Then they find them. Then they light their fuses, which were only 30-second fuses, and then they spray as quickly as possible.
It's almost like the caretaker knew that this was going to be turned into a movie, because that's the scene, isn't it? Okay, we're ready to light, and 3, 2, my glasses!
My glasses! Wait,
I need my glasses, they're expensive!
Very hard to get during the war.
God damn it, where are the glasses?
You must stop your explosie and find my glasses.
Torig, not now.
Newt. His name is Newt. Gotcha.
Newt now.
Newt. Yeah, everyone's a director. Except for Lewis, who doesn't really work here. So as they rush out into the night, the explosives detonate behind them, destroying 1,000 pounds of Hitler's heavy water. And their story of daring was forever immortalized in this Kirk Douglas film, in 1965, a blockbuster called The Heroes of Telemark.
This whole scene reminds me of when I got locked out of my mum's house, and I had to go around the back, and I found like an old pole that she'd used to hold up the washing line, and I used it, put it through the letterbox, the cat flap, and I broke the there was a key holder on the wall, and I just knocked it off the wall, and then I dragged the key, and I let myself in. It saved so much time, and it changed the course of my
later the subject
future.
Of an absolute crap movie called The Pratt of Christchurch.
The key,
starring
the cat flap,
starring no one.
Starring no one. Wow. Thank you so much for that summary.
And 7% on Rotten Tomatoes.
But the scene with the...
it had my heart racing just hearing about it.
It saved me a lot of time.
I might need to have a nap after this. I'm just exhausted. Anyway, after the war, the remains of the heavy water plant are demolished. And today what's left is being turned into a museum, a lasting memorial to these courageous men.
Yeah, I mean, that is mind-boggling how scared they must have been.
Yeah.
To knowing that there was a good chance that they would be spotted at some point but they did it. They stuck with it.
Just how you felt with the cat flap and the stick and the keys, which
Yeah.
is now also they've preserved that cat flap as a memorial to this one courageous knob.
Thank you. And my mum has taken down the key holder from the wall because she obviously thought that was a security risk.
Yeah, exactly.
So
She's doubled the guards.
Potentially saved her.
Put in landmines.
Yeah. But I'm awestruck by the courage.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the ravine climb alone is just madness. I like the fact that the original group was still hiding up in the mountains and that they like link up. But yeah, I mean, let's just be happy that it was successful.
Yeah,
I mean,
because Hitler was definitely going nuclear, wasn't he? Let's be honest.
If he could have gotten it, yeah. I mean, again, there's a lot of debate about how close they actually came, but this certainly set back the project immensely. You know, because they already had the delivery system, right? It was building those giant rockets that you could fly all the way over the English Channel. But I mean, to me, one of the sad parts is, of course, these weapons do get developed and they do get used, and now they're bloody everywhere, and no amount of commandos is going to get rid of them. So here we are in the nuclear age. You know what Einstein said about it? He said the discovery of the atomic energy has changed everything except our way of thinking. If only I had known, I would have become a watchmaker.
So he takes some responsibility then.
Oh yes, he felt terribly guilty about the part that he played, even in developing the theory that made the discovery of the atomic bomb possible. Yeah, he became. I mean, he was very, very anti-bomb. But,
don't blame yourself.
Well,
Einstein.
There it is.
You had good intention. It's all about intention. There's a song by Electric Six called "Gay Bar," and in it they say, "Let's start a war, start a nuclear war." And when that was shown on television, they would bleep out war and nuclear. So the song would go, "Let's start a whoosh." They'd have a whip sound. Start a whoosh, whoosh. And that was censored out. I'm not sure why. Were they worried it might incite a nuclear war? Because in the video, they had lots like men in leather shorts. They had Abraham Lincoln, a depiction of Abraham Lincoln being whipped. And I thought, well, that's fine. But hearing the word nuclear war is somehow a problem.
You know, when I think about how your mind works, it looks like one of those Rube Goldberg devices. You know, you have like a bell and a mouse on one end, and there's like 16 different levers, and at the end there's like a kettle, and somehow like you hit one bit and just tea comes out. That's what I see. Anyway, more complicated than
I'm here to represent the everyman. Yeah?
Oh yeah.
This is how the everyman talks.
There's nobody like you.
We're not all lofty academics like you, Sash.
I'm not lofty.
With your big words, your TV presence, and your fleet of cars.
My fleet of cars. You can with my corgi cars, my Matchbox cars. All right, let's wrap there. Okay, so we're gonna read some comments on the podcast
from our listeners.
Okay, this is one of my favorites. This is actually a dialogue between Mark Hedges. He's talking about the Super Guppy episode, and there's Lewis's responses in it. And Mark writes, "My wife's grandfather designed that plane."
Wow.
And Lewis goes, "John Conroy?" And Mark goes, "Yes." And Lewis says, "What a life he led. Hollywood movie sort of stuff. Does your wife have any particular memories of him?" And Mark says, "No."
That's it?
End of gun. No. He says, "Well, no, it's worse. No, not really. He died when she was very young. He did have a Hollywood-worthy life, though, literally for a little while." Still,
nice.
Fascinating. I mean, really.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Of all the people to be listening, someone who's related to our protagonist.
But I also really like the contrast between Lewis's enthusiasm and Mark's, reality. It's like, "Oh, this is reality. Do you have any memories?" No memories.
No. He was long gone.
Yeah.
Long gone. In fact, none of us actually believe he actually died. We think he left for another woman and faked his own death.
Which is a thing that people do.
Yeah. So that's nice.
I faked my own death several times. It just never sticks.
Yeah, my friend Barry Mao, the grandson of Chairman Mao, he says he has very few memories of his grandfather.
But many memories of his lovely cat, Chairman Meow.
Meow.
Meow. Okay, what you got?
I've got... I am so glad I found this podcast. I've been looking for one that dives into these things, 4 exclamation marks. I legit laugh out loud while I'm listening.
Sweet. What listener is that?
That is Aramigs 2000.
Well, thank you, Aramigs. I like that.
Beautiful name.
Yeah. I've got one from Michael Alameda. "Loving the pod, guys. I'm learning so much new info. An exchange that has stuck with me from this episode in particular. Unlike my cats, Einstein didn't lick his butthole with his tongue, as far as we know. And he says, you guys really make me think of history from a different perspective, which I guess he means literally. Like,
Yeah, that way.
Mission accomplished.
with one of us having a leg up.
Oh my God, but you can lift your leg really high.
Not really.
It's disturbing. But thank you, Michael Alameda. Keep listening.
Very nice. I absolutely love this podcast. So glad it came into my feed. I listened while working and was laughing out loud. Love that you're working and listening. That's brilliant. Amazing work, guys! Thank you.
That's great. That's great. And sorry, who was that?
That was from Kelcat.
Kelcat. Oh, thank you, Kelcat.
Thank you, Kelcat.
All right, I've got one from Yeg Sprout. Or it might be Yeg 5 Prout. I can't, this font is really small. Thanks, Alice.
Good name.
And this is on the Dracula's Castle episode. I visited Bran Castle last fall. So beautiful. The torture chamber is something to behold. And the only Dracula experience is a very retro elevator ride. That's awesome. Sadly, no Starbucks, but tasty treats and mulled wine outside.
Nice. I think we said that there would be a Starbucks.
Yeah, we said there'd be a
Okay,
Starbucks.
good. That wasn't just her.
No.
Her saying
that was our line. That was our line.
Imagine
But
that.
thank you, Yeg Sprout or Yeg 5 Sprout.
Very nice. I don't want to misname you, and I'm sorry if we have.
Yeah.
Stacey Marie Johnson says in quotations, and maybe that's all the pirates wanted. They just wanted their balls back. End quotations. Best line ever. Love this podcast. The times you go into character kill me. Lol. The times you go into character.
Don't be so ironic.
I'm trying to read. It's
okay.
just tricky.
It's tricky.
The times you go into character kill me. Lol. So she likes it when we go into character.
And sorry, this listener is
Stacey Marie Johnson.
Thank you,
That's
Stacey
a proper
Marie.
name. That's
That's
a manager.
I think this is this guy's real name.
Yeah.
Nick, buy me a soda.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
I wish I had that.
Where would
last
that be?
name.
That surname? Where would it come from?
Well, it's a derivative of buy me a Pepsi.
Nice.
But it's a modernization. So they probably had to change it to Ellis Island. It's probably buy me a Pepsi, and they're like, oh, that's too European. How about buy me a soda?
Yeah, and a cousin of Hold My Beer.
Hold my beer. So Nick writes, these episodes are so creepy and interesting. Can't wait to visit all these places at night. Ooh. Careful, Nick. Some of these places are kind of dangerous.
Yeah,
Don't go down into the Kiev catacombs
It's
at night. You'll
always
never
night.
come back again. Yeah, it's true.
But a small,
But thank you, Nick. Keep watching.
Well, a small
And
cat
listen.
has said, I like this. It's relaxing to listen to, so it's not creepy for a small cat, and has a cozy tone. I think we can all work out whose tone she means. Very cute chemistry between the guys too. That's nice.
Oh,
It is pretty cute, our chemistry.
it is pretty cute.
We're like a buddy movie podcast, aren't we?
Are we?
Yeah.
Are you Thelma or Louise?
Yeah, well, we both end up dead, so who cares?
But man, we got in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, it's a good
Worth it in a Cadillac.
Can we end the final episode
Just
doing that?
drive off a cliff in a Cadillac. That's it for us, kids. Woo! Yeah, it'd be kind of weak here because it'd just be like driving onto the Northern Line or something.
Yeah.
in like a whatchamacallit, on a lime bike.
Yeah, line bike. Yeah, cycling off a bridge on a line bike.
Delayed commute again. Those bastards.
Bastards.
Is that it? Do you have any more? That's my last one.
Gib Markney said, "This is awesome. I could listen to these sorts of things all day. Abandoned places are fascinating, also a bit creepy. Not due to the ghosts, they're fine. The animals, brackets humans included, that take up residence in abandoned spaces are unpredictable." The whole review was unpredictable. I didn't know where it was going.
This is very true. Animals and people that take up residence in abandoned places are, by nature, unpredictable.
Sure, they're off-grid. They're less...
They're mavericks.
Yeah, they play by their own rules.
That's no ordinary badger. That's an abandoned building badger.
Yeah, that's right.
And I want to point out for those, there are no other podcasts like us.
Yeah,
this is the one. This is the only one.
Listen, these sorts of things? Are you
No,
saying that
this
we're part of a kind of...
A larger
wider-
genre?
No,
we're genre breakers.
We're completely out on our own.
Yeah,
There's
we are
nothing.
literally out on a limb with our
Nothing
wobbly
like this.
table.
Yeah,
And our
that's
crack crew, who's actually on crack.
our diminishing crew. One of them's skiing currently.
Yeah, well.
Turns out he's not as working class as we thought.
Oh, you're still getting fired. I'm not professionally associated with this person, and I did not endorse that comment.
All right, last one. Elise Stevens said, ran across this episode playing from my queue. One of you sounds like Robert Downey Jr. Thumb up heart. Which one of us sounds like Robert Downey Jr.?
I'm going to let the audience decide.
Yeah, all right.
Last time I checked, he doesn't have a British accent, Doey.
He's in movies, right? He's in Marvel movies now.
Yeah, he's Iron Man.
He's had a good...
Or Tony Stark,
he's had a
depending
good
on...
second act.
He has. He got over some personal stuff.
Yeah, woke up in a little girl's bed. He crawled into someone else's house while on coke.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say that on the podcast?
That's a fact.
Oh, okay.
He went to court for it.
Yeah, and now he's Iron Man.
Yeah, so get off
Powerful
the drugs,
recovery.
kids.
Yeah, stay off the drugs and chemical weapons.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's all we got for now. More comments from our listeners later. Yeah,
we love comments. They give us.
Thank you.
Producer Lewis here. Thanks for listening to this episode of Where Did Everyone Go? New episodes every Wednesday and Sunday. Follow, comment, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out.